vehicle is moving. If you look away to your right, ladies and gentlemen, you will see that British airborne troops are making their way towards this crossroads. They pause to observe the enemy, gauging their strength, looking at their stance. What are we going to do about this small group of Germans? The British paratroopers have decided to tackle the German troops and launch an attack. How long before the Germans are aware of this change in their circumstances? The Germans were caught by complete surprise. At first they're slow to react after having their peace shattered. The Allies press on, making good headway, closing in on the crossroads. The Germans are now fully aware of them and fight back with all that they can. As the Germans are caught in a huddle, the British move round to outflank them, spreading round them, encircling them. One man runs for cover, running for his life. He'd hoped to see his family soon. Maybe he can get away and get some help. Perceiving their hopeless situation, other Germans flee on the motorbike, also hoping to get back to base to alert their compatriots of the situation they are in. So the attack is over. The British have control of the crossroads. The dead Germans are removed from view, and any prisoners are forced to sit together. The vehicles are used as cover as the British paratroopers radio the following Allied forces to tell them that the route is now clear ahead. But what's this? A German vehicle has been spotted approaching the crossroads. The paratroopers prepare to ambush the unsuspecting German occupants. The German half-track has been ambushed. The British aim to capture and check who they have. It appears they've shot and killed the German commandant of Arnhem, indicating the town is close by. More British troops move forward. You look to your far left, ladies and gentlemen, you will see that the Germans have fast-moving flats entering the scene, blocking the British paratroopers' path. They have now deployed vehicles and men to the flank. It seems that the Germans who escaped have brought in reinforcements, ready to take the British by surprise. Steadily the Germans flood into the battlefield with more men and machines. This is going to take careful handling if the Allies are to advance today. With luck, the men within the main Allied force will have enough firepower to punch their way through these defending German troops. To assess the German strength, a Piper Cub spotter plane has been called for by the Allies. As their troops press forward, you can see the plane coming in from your right. Slowly the Piper Cub flies over, assessing the situation, sending back messages. On the ground we have the resistance also joining in, adding their force to the British Allies. The Germans don't want this aeroplane, giving the full story. They fire and fire again to try to knock it out of the skies. On the ground, the battle is now in full flow, with both sides committed to winning the encounter. The Germans seem intent on repelling this attack by the Allies, as much as the Allies are focused on progressing into Arnhem today. The brave pilot in the Piper Cub is taking a huge risk in his fragile craft, radioing back information to his comrades on the ground. These little aircraft were so valuable out in the field of battle, but so often fell victim to enemy gunfire. the rear of the field, German ground troops come press forward and hunker down behind their armour. In the middle of the field by the tree, you can see the German forces. The German tanks making the airborne crouch down, taking them on. In the sky, the airplane pilot wonders if he dares take another pass. It's risky, he could be hit, but the information could prove invaluable to a victory today. He passes again.
It always seems like it might be. Oh, she's like 6.
In the confusion of the battle, there is much movement on the ground as both Allied and German troops group and regroup, turn, move, find their armour, go back to the battle, fire again.
Fireworks. It's a little piece of fireworks.
The Germans are finding the Allied pressure too much at the moment. They may have to pull back to regroup at the crossroads. They're displaying a huge amount of aggression in the battle today. The Germans know that if they allow Arnhem to fall, it will bring the Allies one step closer to their fatherland, an ultimate victory. Once again, they are firing at the Piper Cub, trying to knock it down, trying to disable it, to prevent any further troops coming into the field of play. The Allies show no signs of giving up and continue to fight for all their worth against the Germans, even though the Germans have type SS troops pushing forwards. Some of those messages are getting through. If you look, we now have American forces entering to your far right. American forces pressing forward, taking the information from the aeroplane and knowing exactly where to deploy their troops. And as in times past, in the field now we have a vast empty area in the middle, a no man's land with just a few bodies masked in the grass. Men on both sides are hunkered down. Resistance fighters alongside the Allies, British airborne troops, American troops, all coming into play. While to your far left, the German troops are moving again along the tree line. Heavy fire in the middle, some hidden by the trees, waiting for the moment to press an advantage. Both sides try to help their injured, taking them back to the shelter of the vehicles, hoping to get them home. Medics risking their own lives to go into the field of play to help the injured, though for some, help is too late. The Piper Cub aircraft pilot is elated. He knows he's brought the help they needed. He knows his messages got home, got into the American encampments, brought the Americans into play. He circles again to keep the up-to-date information flowing. For the Germans, we have the Panzers from the 9th and 10th SS Panzer Divisions. They had been stationed nearby. However, brought into the field of play, they shocked the Allies by their presence. These rapidly moving vehicles have positioned themselves behind the trees. Away to your left, a German Pak 40 has come into the field, just waiting for the right time to fire on the Allies. Can our aircraft warn them that it is there? Can they see it from their position on the ground at this moment? This is heavy firepower, could inflict huge damage on the Allies. Now the American forces are pressing forward, passing the Tommies as they go, pressing forward and forward again, trying to regain the crossroads. Once again, our Piper Cub has done its job. The Pak is now totally useless. Its occupants dead already. No firepower came in to damage the prospects of our allies today. Heavy German tanks retreating, pulling back into the trees. Always a decision. Do you press forward and risk your vehicle, or do you retreat and save it for another battle another day?
Wat should do was in business? No, I mean,
In the centre of the field, the half-track comes forward, the heavier firepower of the American army pressing forward and forward, the men taking shelter behind the vehicle as it pushes forward. To the rear of the field there is close combat. Allied forces and Germans closing on each other. For those men, they're not just firing at a target, they're firing at another man. The Piper Cub comes forward again to make another pass, but this time he has been hit. He is trailing smoke. It seems our pilots made one pass too many. With severe damage to the starboard wing, the little Cub flies over the site once more. He's crippled, he can do no more. His job today is done and he must try to live back to safety. Despite the loss of the aircraft, the troops are now pushing forward again. This does not look good for the Germans, as the Allied forces press them from both sides. They're sure to buckle under such a strong attack. With the Panzers taking a commanding role, they still could not hold the Allies. Still the Germans are holding out. They're still in hope of victory. It would only take one more force, one more decisive act from the Allies. But do they have enough force on the ground, or could there be help from the skies? The Germans to the rear are retreating behind their heavy armour. Behind the Germans stood tanks at the bottom of the field. The Germans are trying to regroup. Again, the decision's made. Do we retreat? Do we save our lives? Do we come back another day? Or can we hold this field? The commanders will have to make the decisions. There is a brief pause. It's a standoff at the moment. What decisive act could change the situation? Despite the crippling of its engines and wing, did that Piper Cub manage to get a final message back to the Allied forces not far away? Listen carefully. Airstrikes are possible. There may be a Spitfire in the area. The American bazookas are still doing their job. As you can see in the middle of the field, one of the German Stuks has been hit and is on fire. Its occupants piling out. Better to be a prisoner of war than to die inside a burning lump of metal. Away in the distance, we can hear the drone and see a small speck that could very well be the Spitfire coming in. Once again we have a pause, a small standoff. Just as both groups making decisions again, retreat or press forward, standoff, victory, another prisoner is taken. Look to the skies, ladies and gentlemen. We hear the thrum of the unmistakable Merlin engine. An Allied fighter is about to attack. Here comes the Spitfire. This could be the decisive bit of armour that the Allies needed. The Spitfire passes over, firing down on the Germans, causing considerable damage. Everybody on the ground knows that this deadly aircraft can only stay in the air for a short time. He will have to inflict as much damage as he can before he has to go back to refuel. He passes again. Explosions on the ground, wrecking any chances the Germans might have had of retaking this area. Away against the clouds, the Spitfire turns. The unmistakable silhouette of that wing shape. Turning again to return over the site. The average age of Spitfire pilots was 22. The average time they had before being shot down was 4 days. This brave Spitfire pilot passes again. Deadly accurate despite the speed, picking out which marks to fire on. One more pass to our Spitfire. The brave men from the British 1st Airborne Division, along with their supporting comrades, have eventually resisted the German forces here today. Those captured are being disarmed and lined up to be taken away as prisoners for the rest of the war. Any escaping Germans will retake their positions to wait for the next wave of Allied troops, which will attempt to brush them aside and force their way onto Arnhem to secure the main bridge. Essentially at this time, the war is a stalemate, but the Allies have inflicted a heavy blow to German men and resources, causing huge damage to the Germans' overall strength. A big thank you to the Spitfire pilot, looping up into the sky. Wow. A huge loop round in a roll. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. I can see you from there, you know. And away. Victory for the Spitfire pilot, victory for the Piper Cub pilot, and victory for the troops on the ground, but only one small part in the war. The Allies have successfully held German troops in this area today, any surviving German soldiers making their way back to reform their units. This small battle takes the Allies one step closer to the German border and final victory. And once again, the victory roll.